Origins and harmony. Earth's original design. Earth was created as a living system for diverse life forms. Vegetation was designed as the primary food source for all beings. Every inch of soil contained minerals necessary for plant growth. A perfect balance existed for millions of years. Our story begins with Earth itself. This planet wasn't randomly formed, it was perfectly designed as a living system to support diverse forms of life. Vegetation evolved as the primary food source for all beings, creating the foundation of every food chain. What made this possible was that every inch of Earth's crust contained the exact minerals plants would need for growth. This wasn't coincidence, but a fundamental aspect of our planet's formation. For millions of years, this balanced system flourished without human intervention, demonstrating nature's inherent capacity for sustainability. The natural soil cycle, rock-dirt-soil life. Mycorrhizal fungi, Earth's first ecosystem engineers. Break down rock into mineral-rich dirt. Form symbiotic relationships with plant roots. Microbes transform dirt into living soil. Create complex nutrient exchange networks. Enable efficient carbon and water cycles. Plants and fungi establish the foundation for all other life forms. At the heart of Earth's design is a remarkable transformation process. Rock becomes dirt, dirt becomes soil, and soil sustains life. This process begins with mycorrhizal fungi, Earth's first and most important ecosystem engineers. These fungi break down solid rock into mineral-rich dirt by secreting powerful enzymes. They then form symbiotic relationships with plant roots, delivering these minerals in exchange for carbon. Microbes take this process further, transforming simple dirt into complex living soil. They create intricate nutrient exchange networks and enable efficient carbon and water cycles. Together, plants and fungi establish the foundation that made all other life forms possible. This is not just biology, it's the original blueprint for abundance. "400 million years of sustainability." This system thrived for over 400 million years without depleting resources, requiring external inputs, creating pollution, generating waste. A closed-loop system of perfect efficiency and abundance. This natural system thrived for over 400 million years, a time span almost impossible to comprehend. During this vast period, Earth's vegetation systems operated without depleting resources, without requiring external inputs, without creating pollution, and without generating waste. It was a perfectly closed-loop system of remarkable efficiency and abundance. Take a moment to consider this: for 400 million years, the planet sustained ever-increasing biodiversity through this elegant system. Nature had solved the problem of sustainable food production long before humans arrived on the scene. Disruption and decline, the agricultural crossroads. At the dawn of agricultural modernization, humanity faced two paths. Augment evolved practices without regard for ecosystem impacts. Study natural ecosystems and align farming with nature's processes. We chose augmentation, setting in motion a cascade of consequences. As human civilization developed, we reached a critical crossroads in our agricultural evolution. With increasing knowledge and technological capability, we faced two distinct paths forward. The first option was to augment our existing agricultural practices without regard for the underlying ecosystem, essentially forcing nature to conform to our methods. The second path involved studying natural ecosystems deeply and aligning our farming with nature's processes, adapting our methods to work with natural systems. Humanity, largely driven by immediate needs and incomplete understanding, chose the path of augmentation. This single decision set in motion a cascade of consequences we're still grappling with today. The 62-year experiment, 1958 present. Factors contributing to agricultural decline. Emissions from fossil fuels. Industrial agriculture practices. Massive soil carbon release through plowing. Destruction of soil microbiome. Introduction of synthetic agrochemicals. Disruption of water retention cycles. Compared to Earth's 400 million year success story, our modern agricultural system represents a brief 62-year experiment, one that is showing serious signs of failure. Since 1958, several factors have accelerated agricultural decline, increasing emissions from fossil fuels, industrial farming practices that prioritize short-term yields over long-term soil health, massive carbon release from plowed soils, with 3 times more carbon dioxide now in our soils being released through plowing, destruction of the soil microbiome that regulates nutrient cycling, widespread application of synthetic agrochemicals that disrupt natural pest control, and irrigation practices that interrupt natural water retention cycles. What took nature millions of years to build, we have significantly damaged in just 62 years, less than a single human lifetime. The path of cover-up technologies. Ancient agriculture, limited impact, working with natural cycles. Conventional agriculture, animal power, some disruption but maintained until 1958. Industrial agriculture, the tipping point. Tillage, breaking the soil structure. Agrochemicals, poisoning the soil microbiome. Irrigation systems, disrupting natural water cycles. Modified seeds, breaking natural adaptation processes. The evolution of agriculture reveals a troubling pattern of cover-up technologies, each new innovation designed to address problems created by previous practices. Ancient agriculture worked largely within natural cycles with limited environmental impact. Conventional agriculture introduced animal power with some disruption but generally maintained balance until around 1958. Then came industrial agriculture, the tipping point that fundamentally altered our relationship with soil. Tillage destroyed soil structure and fungal networks. Agrochemicals poisoned the soil microbiome. Irrigation systems disrupted natural water cycles. Modified seeds broke natural adaptation processes. Each technology attempted to cover up problems created by previous interventions, creating a dependency cycle that moved us further from nature's blueprint with each generation. The true cost of industrial food production. Environmental costs. 3 times more carbon dioxide released from soil. Destruction of soil structure and function. Water pollution and depletion. Biodiversity loss. Human costs. Declining nutritional content in food. Rising health issues. Farmer dependency on input suppliers. Economic vulnerability for producers. Control of food systems by corporations. The true cost of our industrial food system extends far beyond what we pay at the grocery store. Environmentally, we've seen 3 times more carbon dioxide released from soils, widespread destruction of soil structure and function, water pollution and depletion, and alarming biodiversity loss. The human costs are equally severe, declining nutritional content in food, with some vegetables containing 40% fewer nutrients than they did in the 1950s, rising health issues correlated with diet, farmer dependency on expensive external inputs, increasing economic vulnerability for producers, and the concentration of food system control in fewer corporate hands. When we account for these externalized costs, our seemingly efficient food system reveals itself to be both economically unsustainable and ecologically devastating. Renewal and restoration. Understanding the problem. Tilled agriculture has reached its most destructive potential. Soil disturbance disrupts natural plant support systems. Creates vulnerabilities that require chemical interventions. Perpetuates a cycle of dependency and degradation. Results in profit loss for farmers and poor food quality. Before we can implement solutions, we must fully understand the systemic nature of the problem. Tilled agriculture has reached its most destructive potential in today's industrial systems. Soil disturbance fundamentally disrupts the natural plant support systems that evolved over millions of years. This creates vulnerabilities to deficiencies, pests, and diseases that then appear to require chemical interventions. This perpetuates a cycle of dependency and degradation, where each intervention necessitates another. The result is profit loss for farmers, who spend increasingly more on inputs while receiving less for their products, and poor food quality for consumers, who receive less nutrition per calorie. Understanding this cycle is the first step toward breaking it. PQNK, Picnic, the regenerative solution. PQNK stands for Paedar Qudratti Nizam Kashatqari, meaning, regenerative and sustainable pristine organic farming system, pronounced as picnic. Core principles: minimal soil disturbance, quality mulch coverage, appropriate irrigation, and working with natural processes. The path forward is remarkably straightforward, captured in the PQNK framework. PQNK, pronounced picnic, stands for Paedar Qudratti Nizam Kashatqari, the regenerative and sustainable pristine organic farming system. This approach emphasizes minimal soil disturbance to protect fungal networks and soil structure, quality soil coverage with organic mulch to mimic nature's way of protecting and feeding soil life, appropriate irrigation that respects natural water cycles, and deep knowledge of natural processes, working with rather than against the system's nature perfected over millions of years. These principles aren't new technology, they're a return to fundamental ecological principles that governed Earth's abundance for 400 million years before our brief industrial experiment. How PQNK works: reestablishes the natural rock, dirt, soil cycle, supports mycorrhizal fungi networks, promotes healthy microbe populations, builds carbon-rich, water-retentive soil, creates disease and pest resistance naturally. PQNK works by re-establishing the natural rock-to-dirt-to-soil cycle that industrial agriculture disrupted. By minimizing soil disturbance, we support the mycorrhizal fungi networks that convert minerals to plant-available forms. The quality ground cover promotes healthy microbe populations that transform dirt into living soil. Together, these practices build carbon-rich, water-retentive soil that becomes increasingly resilient over time. Perhaps most importantly, This approach creates natural disease and pest resistance by supporting the complex soil food web that regulated plant health for millions of years before synthetic pesticides existed. PQNK isn't fighting nature, it's re-establishing our partnership with it. PQNK, Picnic, the science of natural farming that ensures an abundance of nutritious food. As you can see in this evolution timeline, tilled agriculture, which began with early humans, has now reached its most damaging extreme. This conventional approach severely disrupts the natural systems that would otherwise protect and nourish our crops. The soil disturbance breaks down the very mechanisms plants evolved with for millions of years. When we disrupt these natural plant provision and protection systems through intensive tilling, we make crops vulnerable to deficiencies, pests, and diseases. This creates a dependency cycle where farmers must rely on synthetic fertilizers and pesticides to compensate for what healthy soil would naturally provide. The result? Farmers lose profits to input suppliers while producing lower quality food. The solution is remarkably simple yet profound: PQNK, Paedar Qudratti Nizam Kashatqari. By eliminating flooding irrigation, stopping tillage, and covering soil with organic mulch, this system restores natural balance. The approach not only retains farmers' profits but significantly improves food quality. That's the essence of PQNK, working with nature rather than against it to achieve truly sustainable agriculture. Benefits across the value chain. For farmers: reduced input costs, fertilizers, pesticides, irrigation. Improved yield stability. Enhanced crop resilience to climate extremes. Greater profit retention. Reduced dependency on external suppliers. For consumers: more nutritious food. Reduced chemical exposure. Better taste and quality. Connection to natural food systems. Improved health outcomes. For the environment: carbon sequestration. Water conservation. Biodiversity protection. Reduced pollution. Climate change mitigation. For communities: food security. Economic resilience. Reduced healthcare costs. Sustainable livelihoods. Environmental health. The beauty of regenerative agriculture is that it creates benefits across the entire food value chain. Farmers experience reduced input costs as their need for fertilizers, pesticides, and irrigation diminishes over time. They see improved yield stability, even during climatic extremes, enhanced crop resilience, greater profit retention, and reduced dependency on external suppliers. Consumers receive more nutritious food with higher vitamin, mineral, and phytonutrient content, reduced chemical exposure, better taste and quality, a connection to natural food systems, and improved health outcomes. Environmental benefits include carbon sequestration, water conservation, biodiversity protection, reduced pollution, and climate change mitigation. Communities gain food security, economic resilience, reduced healthcare costs, sustainable livelihoods, and environmental health. This is a rare solution that truly benefits everyone involved. Policy interventions, supporting PQNK, the regenerative sustainable pathway. Officially recognize and endorse PQNK as a national agricultural framework. Fund widespread propagation through research institutes and extension services. Develop comprehensive training programs for farmers and rural youth. Provide subsidies for PQNK-specific equipment. Subsoiler, crimper mulcher, bed shaper, no-till raised bed precision planters for seeds, no-till raised bed precision planters for tubers, no-till raised bed precision planters for garlic, no-till raised bed precision transplanter. Create incentives to encourage youth participation in PQNK farming. For meaningful change, policy interventions must focus on officially recognizing and endorsing PQNK as the pristine organic framework that bridges theoretical research with practical implementation. Government support should fund widespread propagation through agricultural research institutes and extension services, making this valuable knowledge accessible to all farmers. We need comprehensive training programs targeting both existing farmers and rural youth, who represent our agricultural future. Specific subsidies for PQNK equipment, including subsoilers, crimper mulchers, bed shapers, and various no-till precision planters, will accelerate adoption by reducing financial barriers. By empowering rural youth with the knowledge, tools, and opportunities to implement PQNK practices, we can harness their energy, creativity, and desire for change to build regenerative food systems for tomorrow. PQNK isn't just a farming method, it's a comprehensive pathway to agricultural sustainability that deserves policy support at every level. For agricultural implementers and extension services, retrain staff in PQNK principles and practices. Establish PQNK demonstration farms with all 6 specialized implements. Create farmer-to-farmer PQNK learning networks with successful adopters. Develop technical assistance programs for transition to PQNK systems. Document and share measurable PQNK outcomes for soil health and productivity. Engage rural youth through PQNK training and mentorship programs. Agricultural implementers and extension services are the vital bridge between PQNK knowledge and on-farm practice. To properly support this regenerative transition, extension services need to thoroughly retrain staff in PQNK principles and specialized practices. They should establish comprehensive demonstration farms where farmers can see PQNK methods in action, including the proper use of all 6 specialized implements, subsoilers, crimper mulchers, bed shapers, and the various no-till precision planters. Creating structured farmer-to-farmer PQNK learning networks leverages the practical wisdom of successful adopters. Building technical assistance programs specifically for transition periods helps farmers navigate the challenging shift to PQNK systems. Consistently documenting and sharing measurable outcomes provides the evidence base for wider adoption. Finally, extension services should actively engage rural youth through specialized PQNK training and mentorship programs, cultivating the next generation of regenerative farmers. Extension services have historically been crucial in agricultural transitions, and they're equally essential in bringing PQNK practices to mainstream agriculture. For farmers, start with small test plots implementing full PQNK methods. Document changes in soil health, input costs, and yields. Connect with successful PQNK practitioners in your region. Gradually expand PQNK practices across your farm. Consider acquiring PQNK-specific equipment as you scale. Mentor youth interested in PQNK farming techniques. To the farmers watching this, you are the most essential implementers of PQNK, and we recognize the considerations involved in any transition. We recommend starting with small test plots using complete PQNK methods to see the results firsthand with minimal risk. Document changes in soil health, input costs, and yields to track your return on investment. Connect with successful PQNK farmers who have already navigated the transition in your region and climate. As you gain confidence and observe improved soil health, gradually expand these practices across more of your land. Consider investing in or accessing PQNK specific equipment, like subsoilers, crimper mulchers, and no-till precision planters, as you scale up. Take time to mentor young people interested in these techniques, as they represent the future of regenerative agriculture. Remember that PQNK isn't about adding more work or cost, it's about aligning with natural processes to let soil ecosystems do more of the work for you, resulting in truly sustainable production. For food chain actors, develop preferential purchasing programs for PQNK certified products. Create transparent supply chains that highlight PQNK practices. Educate consumers about the soil health and nutritional benefits of PQNK farming. Pay premium prices that reflect the true value of PQNK production methods. Invest in supporting farmers transitioning to PQNK systems. Partner with youth-led PQNK initiatives to build future supply chains. Food processors, distributors, retailers, and other food chain actors have significant power to accelerate the PQNK transition. Developing preferential purchasing programs specifically for PQNK certified products sends a powerful market signal. Creating transparent supply chains that clearly communicate PQNK soil health practices connects consumer demand with farm implementation. Educating consumers about the specific benefits of PQNK agriculture, including improved nutrient density and environmental sustainability, builds targeted market demand. Paying premium prices that reflect the true production value and reduced externalities of PQNK products provides crucial financial support for farmer transition. Directly investing in producer support programs accelerates the shift to PQNK practices. And partnering with youth-led PQNK initiatives helps build the next generation of regenerative supply chains. Forward-thinking food companies are already recognizing that the PQNK approach to soil health is fundamental to secure supply chains and quality products in a changing climate. For environmentalists, recognize PQNK farmers as essential ecosystem stewards. Partner with agricultural communities implementing PQNK practices. Help document ecological improvements from PQNK implementation. Advocate for policies that specifically support PQNK approaches. Engage youth in monitoring PQNK environmental outcomes. Bridge urban-rural divides through shared understanding of PQNK benefits. Environmentalists have sometimes viewed agriculture as part of the problem, but PQNK farming represents our greatest opportunity for widespread ecological restoration. We ask environmental advocates to recognize PQNK farmers as essential ecosystem stewards who manage more land than all parks and preserves combined. Partner with agricultural communities around the specific soil health practices of PQNK rather than focusing on divisions. Help document the ecological improvements that result from PQNK practices, including improved water retention, carbon sequestration, and biodiversity, to build a compelling evidence base. Advocate for policies that specifically support PQNK agriculture as a climate and biodiversity solution. Engage young people in monitoring and communicating PQNK environmental outcomes. And help bridge urban-rural divides by focusing on the common interest in the healthy ecosystems that PQNK practices foster. The PQNK approach may represent the largest potential positive environmental impact available to us, one that simultaneously addresses climate, water, biodiversity, and pollution challenges while building more resilient food systems. For consumers, ask retailers about PQNK grown products. Support farmers implementing PQNK practices. Learn to recognize the quality and nutrition of PQNK grown food. Share knowledge about PQNK soil food health connections. Advocate for PQNK recognition in food labeling. As consumers, your everyday choices collectively shape the food system. You can drive change by specifically asking about PQNK grown products and creating demand for this regenerative approach. Support farmers who are implementing PQNK practices by seeking out their products, even if they cost slightly more, recognizing their true value. Learn to identify the superior quality in food grown using PQNK methods, which often shows enhanced nutrient density and flavor due to healthier soil biology. Share knowledge about the specific soil-food health connections fostered by PQNK practices with your family and community. Advocate for PQNK recognition in food labeling to increase transparency. And encourage young people to consider PQNK farming as a viable and rewarding career path. Consumer demand has already transformed many food categories, and PQNK represents the next frontier in this evolution toward a healthier, more sustainable food system built on regenerative principles. Conclusion: the story of Earth's soil is our story. For 400 million years, natural processes created abundance without waste or depletion. In just 62 years, industrial practices have severely damaged this system, but not beyond repair. By implementing PQNK, Paedar Qudratti Nizam Kashatqari, we can restore the natural harmony between rock, dirt, soil, plants, and all living beings. This regenerative and sustainable pristine organic farming system has been proven successful by hundreds of thousands of farmers across Pakistan, India, and beyond over the past decade. The research is complete, the methods are thoroughly field tested, and the specialized tools exist. The time to act is now. Together, we can reclaim our agricultural future through PQNK. The story of Earth's soil is our story. For 400 million years, natural processes created abundance without waste or depletion. In just 62 years, industrial practices have severely damaged this system, but not beyond repair. By implementing PQNK, Paedar Qudratti Nizam Kashatqari, we can restore the natural harmony between rock, dirt, soil, plants, and all living beings. This isn't theoretical. PQNK has been successfully implemented by hundreds of thousands of practicing farmers across Pakistan, India, and beyond over the past decade, demonstrating its effectiveness across diverse climates and conditions. These farmers have witnessed firsthand how PQNK rebuilds soil health while maintaining or improving yields and profitability. The research has been done, the methods have been tested at scale in real farming communities, and the specialized equipment has been refined through years of practical application. The choice is clear, the path is known, and the time to act is now. Together, we can reclaim our agricultural future through PQNK, for the health of our soils, our food, our bodies, and our planet. Thank you.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। आज हम आसिफ खान के रेज बेज के तालाब पे खड़े हैं, जिसका 13 फुट कद है, और ये सीड काट के और हमने और जगह पे लगाया है। तो इससे 6 ट्रालियाँ निकली है। सीड ट्राली तकरीबन 400 मन की है, तो 2400 मन निकला है। अब भी एक ट्राली खड़ी है, तो 2800 मन तक गला आएगा। तो ये ट्रिब्यूट डॉक्टर आसिफ शरीफ को है, जिसकी मोहब्बत में और जिसकी टेक्नोलॉजी में ये आया, और ये मैं ट्रिब्यूट दूँगा मरहूम शेख यूसुफ साहब को, जिसने हमें इस काम पे कायल किया और इस उसी की मोहब्बतों से आज ये पोजीशन है कि माशाल्लाह गन्ना ज़बरदस्त हुआ है और ज़मींदार भी खुश है। हम शुक्रगुजार है आकिब खान के जिसने हमारे ऊपर फेस किया और ये हमें प्लाट दिया जिसे हमने टाइम किया। थैंक यू वेरी मच। आखिर में मैं अपने मोशन ये पूरे प्लाट को जो ट्रिब्यूट करता हूँ ये उसकी अज़मत है डॉक्टर आसिफ शरीफ की। अल्लाह ताला मेरे हबीब के सदक़े उसको खुश रखे और मेरे दिल से दुआ निकलती है कि अल्लाह उसको खैरी हयाती दे ताकि इस तरह हम और भी इसी धरती की खिदमत करते रहें। थैंक यू वेरी मच। कमर दूंगा है 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25
पंजवी गुरिया
25 गुरे
और पंजवी गुरिया थे आकिब खान वाला प्लाट वा रेज़ बेड वारो ये पंजवी गुरियूं थियूं कमंद हिकिड़ी छड़ी इनमें बिज घणे गाॾियां उस्ताद भरे ने
मैं तू तो घना भरा अंकल को रुकड़ा ट्राला जाए हाँ
हाँ
बी टूलर जाए हाँ बी भरनी में बी टूलर ऊपर जागे अंकल में
चौथी गाड़ी अञा गाड़ी थी सी या ॾूं ॾूं गाॾी अञा थी सन वाह न न ईंदा अलॻि है ॾूं ॿारे जेको न परला ॿारहं इहे ॾूं गाॾियां माना टोटल गाॾियां घणे थींदा आहिनि जूं हाँ हाँ 6 गाॾियां माशाल्लाह माशाल्लाह ऐं बिना गुड बिना ख़र्च भी घटि सफ़ा ठीक है सर।
सभी अस्सलाम वालेकुम। ये आपकी अज़मत को सलाम है जो आपके ये इतनी ज़बरदस्त टेक्नोलॉजी है और इतना तो गन्ना शानदार हुआ है मेरा तो दिल खुश हो गया है। और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह इसमें से 1 एकड़ में 2400 मन गन्ना निकला है और इसका रेटून फिर ट्रेस मल्च करेंगे इसके ऊपर और उसकी केयर करेंगे इंशाल्लाह और बेहतर होगा। तो ये ट्रिब्यूट आपका है और आपके अज़मत को सलाम है कि ये टेक्नोलॉजी आपने हमें दी। अल्लाह ताला मेरे महबूब के सदक़े आपको खुश रखे और मैं कोशिश करूँगा कि आपको भी सलाम पेश करने आऊँ। थैंक यू वेरी मच। कमरदीन डायरी है जी मान लो
उस्ताद मोहतरम जनाब आसिफ शरीफ साहब सर अस्सलाम वालेकुम। सर मैं मोहम्मद रिजवान शकरगढ़ से। सर ये देसी गुलाबी लहसुन पायदार कुदरती निज़ाम काश्तकारी पे सर ये इसकी एज आज हो गई है 4 माह यानी 20 अक्टूबर का लगा हुआ है और जब ये वीडियो बन रही है तो आज इस 4 माह का हो गया। इसकी ग्रोथ सर 3.5 फुट 4 फुट तक माशाल्लाह इसका कद हो गया। सर ये पिकनिक के अजायब में से एक अजूबा है। ये लहसुन जो पिकनिक पे मैंने लगाया है सर, ये सर मैं क्लोज करके दिखाता हूँ। ये देखें सर, और जो सर रवायती लगे हुए हैं लहसुन मेरे आस पड़ोस या गांव में तो वो सर बीमार हैं, उनको फंगस आया हुआ है। कोई कुछ पूछ रहा है मुझसे आके कि ये क्या करें हम। मैंने कहा क्या करना है, तरीका काश्तकारी बदलो भाई अपना, पिकनिक पे आओ, आपको इंशाल्लाह रिज़ल्ट मिलेंगे। और ये माशाल्लाह सर बहुत ज़बरदस्त।
बस जी ये हाजी साहब सामने हमारे खड़े हैं, इनके बाग में हम आए और हाजी साहब की मेहमान नवाजी का लुत्फ़ उठाया। ये देखें जी इनका ये सडन डेथ में पिछले साल रिकवर होने वाला पौधा है। ये देखें ये खाली है, ये देखें इतने बड़े बेड हैं। ये अनार का पौधा है, ये हमारे साथ हाजी साहब हैं। और ये पौधा देखें, ये खाली से ऑलमोस्ट 4.5 फुट दूर, 2.5 साल से इसको पानी नहीं लगा। पिकनिक अगर किसी ने देखनी है तो वो इस बाग में और इस सिस्टम में आके हाजी साहब के पास देखे। और इतने सेहतमंद पौधे, इतना सेहतमंद बाग, इतना सेहतमंद फ्रूट, तकरीबन एक एक पौधा, ये पौधा इनका 6 साल का है और 600-700 फ्रूट हैं जी एक पौधे के ऊपर, और बहुत एक्सीलेंट है।
हाँ जी दोस्तों, आह नरमा अपना ते वधिया टिंडे लग रहे ने, बनी जाते टिंडे वधिया। ये जी अपना 3 बैडां, एक बैड विच खाली छड्डता ते 2 बैडां ते नरमा, फिर आह 2 बैडां ते गन्ना, फिर आह जी अपना नरमा। ये कोई पैस्टीसाइड, कोई कीड़े मकोड़े कुछ नहीं किया गया। ते आ फिर नरमा, आ 2 बैडां दे विच असीं एक बैड इहदा शकरखंडियां दा ला के देखिया भी की रिजल्ट आउंदा ते भी पता लग जू चलो किन्ने क निकलदे की कुछ है। नरमा आपदा चली जांदा ते ओह आपदा चली जांदा जी। फिर आ गन्ना आ गया जी। आ असीं 2 बैड इहदे विच सब्जियां लाईयां सीगीआं, हुण तक खा खू के आ गुड्डदा सीगा। ते एक बैड दे विच इत्थे आ कखड़ियां खुखड़ियां ते अपने बल्लां, अपने बंगे बुंगे, टिंडियां पिंडियां लातियां सी, ओह खादियां घरे। फिर आ नरमा, आ गन्ना आ गया जी 2 बैडां ते फिर आह नरमा आ गया जी वधिया। कोई किसी किस्म दा पैस्टीसाइड यूज मैं तो देखिया नहीं हैगा भी चिट्टी मक्खी हुंदी की है, हरा तेला हुंदा की है। कुदरत अपने आप आपदा सिस्टम करी जांदी है। ते इहदा फायदा ऐ है जी, मैनूं ऐ लगदा है भी जिन्ना अपना झोना होऊगा इहदे च हुंदा, मैं पिछले साल झोना सी उन्ना दा इकल्ला नरमा ही दे दूगा। ते आ अपना गन्ना हो गया जी फ्री।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम जी, मेरा नाम हाजी कासिम है। तुम देख रहे हो मेरा यूट्यूब चैनल मामू जी TV। है कोई तुहानू चाइना का जजीरा नहीं दिखा रहे, ये पाकिस्तान है और हाजी मुमताज़ साहब का टनल फार्म है। बिल्कुल 2 कनाल रकबे के इन्होंने तोरी लाई हुई है, तोरी और करेला। 10 लाइना तोरी दियां ने, 8 लाइना करेले दियां ने। यह देख लो तुहाडे सामने है, माशाअल्लाह बहुत ज़बरदस्त फ्रूट है। कोई फ्रूट फ्लाई नहीं, कोई इसमें किसी किस्म की कोई बीमारी नहीं, कोई खाद नहीं, कोई स्प्रे नहीं, बिल्कुल ऑर्गेनिक मुकम्मल। और माशाअल्लाह फ्रूटिंग ऐसी ज़बरदस्त और तोरी ऐसी ज़बरदस्त कि मंडी पहुँचती है तो इंज हथों हाथ चुकी जाती है। और बहुत खूबसूरत फ्रूट होता है और बहुत ज़्यादा मांग है इसकी इस वक्त साढ़े इलाके की मंडी है। सिलाली चले जाइए तां जे, फरूके चले जाइए तद, कोई फ्रूट फ्लाई नहीं, कोई कुछ नहीं, बिल्कुल साफ सुथरा माहौल, कोई इनू बीमारी नहीं है जी। तुहाडे सामने है क्रॉप खड़ी, तो माशाअल्लाह फ्रूट सारा ही साफ सुथरा है, कोई दागी नहीं, कोई किसी किस्म का इस पर कोई फंजीसाइड पेस्टिसाइड कोई स्प्रे नहीं होता, कोई खुराक नहीं मिलती पई, खाद नहीं मिल रही, कुछ नहीं मिल रहा। और ये तकरीबन 2 कनाल दे विच लगे हुआ टनल और इस दी डेली दी इनकम जी है तकरीबन 3500 तो 4000 एक कम से कम है। तो कदे कदे 5000 6000 ते भी बिल चला जाता है। तो ये तो सस्ते रेट की गल करते पे ना, तो जिस टाइम मार्केट का रेट होता है उस दिन फिर पीछे थोड़ा जा रेट उठया तो फिर बड़ा मज़ा आया। और बहुत खूबसूरत फ्रूट और इसकी एक लज्जत ही अलग है, इसकी शीरी अलग है। मेरा तमाम दोस्तों को मशवरा, अगर कोई सब्ज़ी का शौकीन है सब्ज़ी लगाने का, तो वो इस मैथड में अपनाए और मुकम्मल ऑर्गेनिक तरीके के नाल उगाए। सेहत बख्श सब्ज़ी है जी, बहुत खूबसूरत फसल, बहुत शानदार। इस दे नाल बन्ने की दूजी साइड से मेरी फसल है, मैं स्प्रेवा कर कर थक गया, खादा पा पा थक गया। लेकिन यह जी बैडां दे काश्त हुई हुई ना जी, डॉक्टर आसिफ शरीफ साहब जिहड़े ने उन्हां दे सारे कमाल ने उन्होंने दसी हुई गल्लां ने सारियां और वो हाजी मुमताज़ साहब अमल करके तो माशाअल्लाह बहुत बेहतरी वाले पासे चले गए और इन्नी तोरी लंबी